Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys and giving you a little bit of insight on what it's like living here in Houston, Texas. Now, I know a lot of you guys are interested in what the area is like and what to prepare for before moving if you are interested in living in Houston. So if you guys see me looking down, I have some notes here. I have been in Houston for 2 years now. I moved to Houston back in 2023. It's been 2 years and 2 months so far since I've been living in Houston. I feel like so many people are moving to Houston or have plans on moving to the area and moving to the city just for different opportunities. Houston is such a big melting pot for Black professionals, entrepreneurs. Like, it's a big mixture of people from all different walks of life. You have people that have migrated here from Mexico, you have people that are migrated here from Africa, and I feel like Houston is such a very diverse city. I'm originally from North Carolina, so I'm not used to such a big cultural difference. There's a lot of different people from just different walks of life that you can connect with. I feel like networking is huge in Houston. If you are an entrepreneur or a business owner, living in Houston, you can definitely network with the right people and really get your business off the ground. There are definitely pros when it comes to networking and being in Houston and being able to connect with other content creators, being able to connect with other business owners. Like, you can just connect with so many people, especially in the day and age of now having social media, making that a little bit easier. I feel like you can definitely network and really advance and elevate your life. Houston is considered a hustle city. When you move to Houston, you definitely want to make sure that you have a plan. You're on your P's and Q's when you come down here. Houston can be expensive, so you want to make sure that you are prepared before you move down. You have funds saved up. Make sure that you have funds saved up for anything that may go wrong, whether your car breaks down or just a rainy day. You want to make sure that you have funds in place. I feel like I could have definitely prepared more in moving down to Houston. My situation was a little bit different. Moving here was a faith move, and moving here was me being obedient to the instructions that God had given me back in 2023. And so unfortunately, I wasn't able to save as much as I would like, and I wasn't able to prepare as long as I would like, but everything ended up working out for my good, and everything's worked out how God wanted it to work out. Definitely, if you can prepare, do your research and prepare as much as you can before you make that step in moving here. You definitely want to make sure that you are doing adequate research on Houston. You want to make sure that you are doing research on what area that you move to, how close your job may be to your home, surrounding shops, grocery stores, gas stations, anything that surrounds the place that you choose to move to, because I feel like that will definitely make a difference in your living experience here in Houston. Currently, where I live right in the heart of Katy, Texas. There are a lot of grocery stores, a lot of shopping centers. I'm not that far from Houston. I'm like 30 minutes away from Houston. Literally just in the heart of everything. So that definitely makes a difference in my living experience here in Houston, as I have so many places that are close by. If I need to run to the grocery store right quick, I know it's only going to take me 5 minutes to drive to the grocery store versus 15 to 30 minute drive to just go grocery shopping. Pretty sure a lot of you guys have probably seen on social media, especially TikTok, that the traffic in Houston is bad. So many people are moving here. Before you move, I would just recommend having a job that you work remote or work from home. It does make a difference. It does save you a lot of gas. It saves you a lot of time instead of being in traffic for hours, because the traffic in Houston can definitely get bad. And I'm not just talking at one specific time. Literally from the time that people usually get up for work, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m., there's going to be traffic. You can guarantee it's going to be traffic. Now during the day, sometimes there may be a little bit of slower times where there may be less traffic. Just keep in mind of that and how long your commutes will be. I would recommend leaving your house at least 30 to 40 minutes before you have to actually be to work, to make sure that you get there on time, that you're not rushing to work, because sometimes there may be accidents on the highway. There may be traffic where it adds on 10 to 15 minutes getting to work. So you just want to make sure that you are prepared all the way through. Definitely want to make sure that you have a vehicle. If you do not have a vehicle, it will be extremely difficult trying to get around. It's literally a headache when you don't have a car here in Houston. So you want to make sure that you have some type of transportation before moving here. Yes, you can take Uber, but ultimately taking Uber, those expenses, they add up. And so when you have a vehicle, it's definitely easier for you to get around. You don't have to wait on anyone to pick you up, to take you where you need to be. And it just relieves a lot of stress when you have your own vehicle here in Houston, because everything is literally like a 30-minute drive. It doesn't matter where you're going to, you can expect to have at least a 30-minute drive to your destination. You want to make sure that you think ahead of anything that you may need. I would recommend having at least 3 to 6 months of savings before moving to Houston, just to make sure that if anything happens, God forbid, if you lose your job, something goes wrong with just anything, you just want to make sure that you are prepared for whatever may happen before you move down to Houston, and making sure that you have the funds to do so. Because if you're in a situation and you have to pay for something and you don't have the funds to pay for that, it's just the worst situation to be in. So make sure that you save as much as you can before moving to Houston. Just everyday expenses could definitely add up, and Houston is actually very expensive, especially if you are a person that likes to explore, get out the house. Houston could definitely be on the more expensive side. So just make sure that you have a monthly budget and make sure that you have those funds to be able to enjoy your experience here in Houston, because it's nothing worse than not having enough or not having the funds to be able to really have best experience here in Houston. So really make sure that you prepare financially and make sure that you're thinking about everything before you officially make that move. I would highly recommend getting an apartment locator. It literally just takes the load off, and just having someone else to be able to look for an apartment for you, your budget, according to the area that you need to move to. Sometimes they can even save you money on the apartment. And I do know that at least the apartment locator that I worked with for moving into my apartment, they do offer rebates. So that is cash back after moving into your apartment. Ultimately help towards your rent, your groceries, and just literally just everyday expenses. As far as apartments, you want to make sure to have at least, I would say minimum, a 600 credit score. You have a little bit lower than a 600 are places that you can definitely rent out. That most apartment locators, they do require for you to have at least a 600 credit score for them to even work with you and find a place that's suitable for you. Minimum when it comes to rent, You can definitely find places around like $1,100 a month minimum for something nice. When it comes to a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, I would say the minimum price that you'll probably expect to pay would be around $1,200 a month. On top of your rent, there will be also other expenses that you will be expected to pay. For example, in my apartment complex, I do pay for trash valet packages. Most apartments here in Houston, internet would most likely be included in your rent as well. For the most part, on top of my rent, I pay for trash, I pay for lockers, I also pay for pest control, which is, I believe, a total of additional $150 a month. For water, if you go over a certain limit, that will also be added to the rent that you pay as well. For electricity, you definitely want to do your research when it comes to the company that you decide to go with for your apartment. Houston is known for being hot and very humid. Personally, I do have Just Energy as my energy company that I decided to go with for my apartment. Monthly bill, it ranges from $140 to like $170 a month, which is a little bit, it's on the higher end for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. Make sure that you are choosing the best energy company according to your budget. This will be good to know what your usage is. What do you normally use every month, to get a good idea of what you will most likely pay here with your energy company. Moving is definitely expensive when it comes to renting out, moving company, buying furniture, groceries, toiletries, like literally everything. You want to make sure that you are fully prepared for moving. And if you can have help, if you have family members, if you have friends that can help you, I would definitely recommend asking someone to help you move, of course. But yeah, I would definitely recommend having an apartment locator to help you find the best place for you. Going the route of an apartment locator, they can definitely let you know what are the best places for you to move according to your budget, your income. Some of the areas that I would recommend to move in Houston would probably be downtown, Midtown, River Oaks, and also the Heights. Typically, those are good places to move to here in Houston. I only lived in downtown Houston, which was a nice experience, being in the heart of everything, in like the more like busier, I guess, area of Houston. And so that was nice, living in downtown Houston. If you don't mind living at least 30 minutes away from the actual city, some nice places that you can move to can be Katy, Cypress, and even the Woodlands. Right now, I currently live in Katy. Living on the outskirts, most of the time you can get the most bang for your buck. It can be more affordable. My experience, I feel like Katy can be a little bit cleaner than some parts of Houston. Apartments here in Katy are really nice, and like I said, they're a lot more affordable than some places here in Houston. So you definitely want to do your research. I would recommend reading the reviews on apartments.com, on Google, and really take in what other people are saying about the place that you plan on moving to before you actually move in. That's what I did with my apartment, and I'm glad I did. So I was able to know what other people that lived here before I officially moved in, what their comments were, what their experience was. And you want to research and make sure that you're making the right choice when it comes to the place that you stay, because you want to make sure that you're in a comfortable environment. Some places in Houston, they have higher crime rates. At different apartment complexes, people have broken into cars, have stolen the wheels or stolen the tires off your vehicle. So you want to make sure that you're doing your research on what area that you decide to move to Houston, because you just don't want to run into any trouble. You want to make sure that you're in a safe environment, and that when it comes to your security and your safety, you're looking at those areas and you're doing your research before you officially decide which apartment and which place you want to move to. Moving to Houston, I definitely feel like I had a culture shock because it was something that I wasn't used to. Just being around people from different walks of life, different ethnic groups from all different walks of life, was something that I wasn't necessarily used to, especially being from North Carolina. I feel like back home we're a little bit more reserved and more to ourselves, and so when I moved here to Houston, people are more open, I would say, as far as how they express themselves, and it's just definitely a different vibe than what I was used to. After a while, you definitely get used to it. As far as friends, I do see that there are a lot of people that have had a difficult time making friendships here in Houston. I definitely have had a difficult time finding friendships, especially in adulthood. It's definitely been a difficult time trying to find my group of people. I still haven't found like my tribe of people here in Houston. I would say that experience definitely may be different than mine. I think also just getting out the house and networking and going to events, even if you have to go by yourself, I would highly recommend it, because that's ultimately how you're going to meet people here. And that's in any place that you move to. That I feel like I can do better with is getting out the house and going places. Even if it's by myself, 9 times out of 10, it definitely will. Being open to meeting people, I definitely feel like that could definitely increase my chances of meeting new people and meeting new friendships. And especially me being a very introverted person and a more reserved or quiet person, is definitely a little bit more difficult in meeting people and being open to friendships. So that's definitely something that I feel like I can work on. But if you're a naturally outgoing person, open, and you love meeting new people, I would say definitely find some events in the area and step out. Get outside of your house, put on something cute, put your makeup on, girl, and go outside, sis. That is how you're going to ultimately meet people here in Houston and establish your community in the area, especially if you are moving here by yourself. I feel like it's nothing worse than moving to an area and not having community and being by yourself. So I would definitely recommend getting out the house, go on Threads, go on Instagram, go on social media and find out what events are close by you that you may be interested in. Just go outside. Go outside, okay? I want you to go outside. And I'm speaking to myself when I say that, okay? You can definitely grow your network. You can establish friendships here in Houston. It's all about, I would say living here in Houston is all about who you know and what you know. Out and networking, you can definitely gain some positive experiences from networking with different people, and really putting yourself out there. And that's in any big city that you move to. You want to put yourself out there, especially if you have big goals and you have big dreams and you want to elevate your life. You have to put yourself out there when it comes to that. As far as weather here in Houston, you can expect for it to be hot 24/7. And when I mean 24/7, I mean every day, all day, okay? North Carolina, sometimes it may snow in like the winter time. Here in Houston, you can expect for it to pretty much be 100 degrees from January to December, literally all year long. Only place that you can probably get snow would probably be if you move to Dallas. Typically they do get snow in Dallas. Exactly too sure about what the weather is all year long. I do know that they do get snow in Dallas, but in Houston you can expect for it to be hot and you can expect for it to be humid. It does rain a lot. I feel like the weather here can be bipolar. Some days you can wake up and it's literally 100 degrees outside and it hits 12 o'clock in the afternoon and it's pouring down, raining and storming for 30 minutes, and then after that 30 minutes it goes back to the sun being out. So the weather here in Houston can definitely be bipolar. If you are a natural girly, you may have to figure out as far as hairstyles to make sure that your hairstyles last, because the humidity here in Houston is bad. I'm so glad I have these braids in because I don't have to worry about my hair so much. And I know with at least braids, I know my hair is gonna last. If I have a wig on or my natural hair out, I know max my hair is probably gonna last a week max. So definitely keep in mind as far as your hair goes. You may have to make some type of adjustments to make sure that you're able to keep your styles intact. Make sure you get you a good hairstylist here in Houston that specializes in hair care or wig installs or whatever your judge is. Definitely make sure that you find a reliable hairstylist here as well, because these styles don't be lasting. I do want to thank you guys for watching this far. Any questions that you have, feel free to drop them down below. If you feel like there have been a few questions that I may have missed or you may want the answer to before moving to Houston, or you're even thinking about moving to Houston, definitely drop it down in the comment section below. Definitely recommend moving to Houston if you are a Black professional, an entrepreneur. If you found this video helpful, definitely leave me a comment down below, and then also make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.